and a highly unusual environment. Many of the biggest names in the sport have been flown down here to be witnesses, and from the get-go, it looks like it's going to be a phone booth fight in this 22 by 22-foot ring for Diaz and Campbell. And Campbell comes out as though he wants to fight Diaz's fight and take the younger fighter out of his game.
He's doing just that. He's going right after fighting his fight. I don't know if it's going to be the best thing for him, but Campbell is the big puncher in this fight here.
He's also going right to the body, Emmanuel, just as he said he would, Campbell. He said no one's really tested Diaz to the body yet.
Diaz's whiskers have held up pretty well against punchers like Freitas. Campbell's quite correct in saying that no one is really focused enough on Diaz's body. So here in the first round, particularly with the right hand over and over and over, Campbell is digging to the ribcage.
Campbell is coming out punching, but he should be trying to place a punch up between the center, because that seems to be where Diaz is more vulnerable. The way he closes his right hand, he try to come up between the gloves more so. But everything he's doing is over on the outside.
Nate Campbell has jumped Juan Diaz in the first round, trying to steal the initiative from the younger fighter. And now, within the last 10 seconds, Diaz has started to come back and fight more of his fight. But he's already bleeding over his left eye. Right hand by Campbell and a big one. Diaz comes back with a combination.
Maybe Campbell wanted to make that statement early, but Emmanuel, did it seem to you a sign of desperation right from the opening bell?
Well, I think he wanted to make a statement and to get some respect right away. But I think, you know, Diaz is a real calm guy, even though he doesn't have all that experience. One, he's very unusual kid, very relaxed at all times, and I don't think he's going to get raffled that easy.
However, he's bleeding above the left eye, and Campbell continues to strafe him with right hands. Both guys have landed solidly in round one. They could fight this fight in an 8-foot by 8-foot ring.
And there hasn't been any serious clinches, even though both guys are fighting with their left shoulders pushing each other, but they refuse to clinch.
Well, I've never seen Diaz clinch in any of the fights I've covered, and Campbell is here to fight tonight. People are still talking 1 week later about the tremendous fight last week between Israel Vasquez and Rafael Marquez in the 122-pound weight class. That first round was an honorable tribute to what Vasquez and Marquez did.
Beautiful one. That's beautiful one, baby. More to the body's beautiful. The body's beautiful. Keep those hands when you pull out for him, all right? That's a good jab you're using. That's nice head movement. How you feel?
I'm good. You're seeing everything beautiful.
Yeah.
He caught him right. That's okay. You know what? He ain't gonna be able to handle you like that. Right. Okay? Well, look, when you finish punching, just step around.
Yeah, we gotta get it wrong.
Okay? Nothing more, nothing less than this. Okay? Everything is fine. All right?
Here we can see what may have been the action that caused the butt, where you see the head seem to collide right here. That could have been, but not for sure, but it could have been what caused the accidental butt from a head of Nate Campbell hitting into Diaz.
So how good was round one? Well, by CompuBox count, they threw 196 punches and they landed 83. 32 out of 82 for Diaz, 51 out of 114 for Campbell, 70 combined power shots. That's an amazing round. Can they keep up that energy level? And more to the point, can Campbell keep up that energy level?
That's
because frankly,
case.
this is the way Diaz likes to
That's
fight.
the way Diaz fights. Campbell is a better puncher, but I don't know if he can continue at this pace that he's going at. And I also like to point out that even though Ronnie Shields isn't working up in the corner, I understand he has been the main trainer for Diaz going into this fight. After rejoining him after he left, when he had to make a decision between working with Evander Holyfield for his recent fight in Bragomov, which he chose, but now he's back in the stable, and he hurt his ankle, I think, 2 days ago. Broke his foot accidentally in the hotel.
Yep.
And that's why he's on the floor, but he's did most of the training.
Do you think it'll affect Diaz that he doesn't have Ronnie up in the corner talking to him between rounds?
No, I don't think it will affect him. Don't forget his last fight he fought without Ronnie.
After all, Juan Diaz doesn't make a lot of tactical adjustments in his fights. He is there to bring it 3 minutes of every round. And right now, Campbell's slowing down, and Diaz is still Diaz.
Jim, that's a great way to describe it. Diaz is still Diaz, and he's going to be that way throughout the entire fight.
Can you go with it? Can you stay with it? When he keeps it up, round after round after round. Okay, you can flash for a couple of minutes, but can you stay with it? That's the real question.
Nate Campbell said going into this fight that he wanted to take Juan Diaz into hell and see if he could stand it. I don't know if there's a hell deep enough I don't think Dante in his Inferno has a hell deep enough for Juan Diaz. This is exactly the kind of fight he wants to fight. Even though he has the ability to box a bit from the outside using his legs and jab, this is the kind of fight he loves. He's so easy to root for. Human interest story aside, his style makes him incredibly easy to root for, Juan Diaz.
But you know, you look at Campbell, even though he may fall or may not, at this point, I give him credit. He's fighting a tremendous fight, though.
It's the best I've seen Campbell look.
And Campbell looks very good in terms of the power in his punches.
And he's had some great performances, but this is the best I've seen him look offensively so far.
And speed, a lot of speed tonight he's punching with, in addition to power.
Remember, Campbell's 36 years old. Diaz is still only 24.
And yet we've seen Diaz in these kind of fights. It's usually he who breaks the will of his opponent.
Well, he's got a tough guy there tonight, Nate Campbell.
He's trying to get a short shot. So keep moving the air for him and keep his hands up, all right?
Deep breath. Bring your lungs up.
Fill your lungs up. Good work. The body work is good. When you catch those shots, fire back. Keep those hands in tight when you move inside, okay? You're doing good.
This guy try to do is try to wear you down. Look, we go through hell in the gym every day, okay? Right. All right, now we're going to put his ass through hell now. Okay, listen. Box him this round, okay? Get on the outside with your jab. You don't have to get in there. Look, this guy's tired as hell right already now. Right. Okay, look. Okay. All this Jordan, he just trying to give you everything he got at the beginning, okay? I'm going to put him on. Keep that left hand up and box him. Just be smarter than he is right now, okay? Box him on the outside. Out of the ring.
The voice that you heard in Diaz's corner was that of Roddy Shields. Even though he's on the floor, he was the one that was giving the instructions, and he's instructed Diaz to get on his toes and to box now.
Can anybody here jab? In round 2, 71 of their 73 combined connects for power shots. There, for one of the few moments, they're far enough apart for the jab to mean something.
It looked like both guys had the same idea coming out in this round, to get away and box a little bit.
Now they're trading jabs in what has become a categorically different round than the two which preceded it. And as you said, almost like it's an agreement between the two fighters, Emmanuel.
Yeah, both guys seem like they got the same instructions. But one thing about the show, they're both busy. Still been no clinches, and the intensity is still there, whether they're fighting at a distance or in close. They have never changed up and had any dull moments at all in this fight.
Whether from the inside or the outside, it's a wonderful fight.
Campbell going back to that right hand of the body over and over, trying to take some of the steam out of Diaz's non-stop buzzsaw style.
Diaz is definitely going to be tested tonight.
Now Diaz goes to the body and lands upstairs with the right hand. It's almost as if the two fighters are trying to match each other in a series of skill tests. Who can tap better? Who can land more body shots? who can keep up the intensity trading inside.
And yet, in the tradition of fighters like, I'm reminded of Jeff Fennick when I watch Juan Diaz, the great featherweight champion. Diaz is involved in many fights like this, where early it's hard to distinguish him from his opponent because he forces such a torrid pace. It's later in the fight, when Diaz is still fighting like this, that he usually breaks his opponent.
On the other hand, Diaz's left eye is beginning to swell, and ultimately he could wind up with impaired vision at some point in the fight. So the urgency rises for Diaz to keep the punishment up. This is a war of wills.
And even the head punches that Diaz lands a lot on Campbell, Campbell rolls a lot on him. He doesn't take the full impact of the head punches. Most of the shots he's rolling and slipping and sliding, so he doesn't get hit with the full impact. The crowd may be getting excited, but he's not getting hit that cleanly. Just like right there.
3 rounds of mayhem in Cancun. One later on tonight, Samuel Peter, the Nigerian Nightmare. His only loss was to Vladimir Klitschko, but who in his last appearance against Daniil McCline in early October in Madison Square Garden suddenly tasted the canvas for the first time, going down on an uppercut in the second round, went down 2 more times in the third round, then outboxed McCline clearly the rest of the way to ultimately come back and win the fight. Peter and his manager had spent a couple of years deriding Vladimir Klitschko for Klitschko's victory in Atlantic City when he was down 3 times by Peter and came back to win by decision. Now Peter's had the same experience, and both he and the manager say, we understand a little bit more now. You can't go down 3 times and win a fight.
Time out.
CompuBox numbers through round 3. Diaz 100 out of 257. Campbell 111 out of 312. They have landed 211 punches in 3 rounds. Harold, that's amazing. How do you score that?
Okay, Jim. 2 rounds to 1. 29-28. Juan Diaz. Jim, in round 1, I thought he won just by landing a couple more shots. I thought he out-hustled Nate Campbell. In the second round, Nate Campbell, I thought out-hustled Juan Diaz. In the third round, when I fought it at a little bit of a distance, I thought Juan Diaz pulled it out by, a last-minute rally. 2 rounds to 1, Juan Diaz, and a very close fight.
Diaz now beginning to focus a little more to the body. Campbell comes back with his right hand to the body, trying to balance the scales again.
Fight clean. Go hold it.
And already, Emmanuel, I sense that the starch has come out of Campbell's punches, and he's lost the capacity to hurt Diaz.
Yeah, but even though Diaz is throwing a lot of punches, he hasn't landed the last 30 seconds. I saw the punches going, but Campbell seemed to have been resting, rolling, and picking the punches, placing his punches more effectively now. Instead of trying to fight on the volume the way he was in the beginning, he seemed to be placing his punches and making sure they're clean, accurate shots.
Better plan?
Yeah, it's a better plan now because I think that he cannot actually just out-punch Diaz, and he realizes that.
The thing about Nate Campbell, it's making this such an excellent fight so far, is Diaz's ability to break his opponent's spirit is as important as his ability to break his opponent's body. And Nate Campbell is a very proud fighter whose spirit will not be easily broken.
And Nate is landing his share of clean, effective punches, too, in this round, particularly between the gloves of Diaz.
Yeah, that professor who was in the feature piece and who told Diaz to protect his head because it's so valuable must be cringing right now if he's trying to watch this in Houston. Don't watch. Boxing is hard on the cranium. Solid right hand by Diaz. Campbell comes back with a flurry to the body.